Hello and welcome to ARC. Today we're qualifying and racing for the first time ever on the same day, and we're joined by Alex Bomberg, who commentated last race.
Thank you, Felix. Welcome, viewers, here in the streets of Baku for round number 8, I believe we're on, of this season. Tight, turny streets of Baku, and I think it's going to be an awesome race. But first, as always, the drivers got to qualify to set the grid for the race.
Yeah, so the weather prediction is as follows. If I can get it up somewhere. Okay. So yeah, it's sunny at first, and then it gets more cloudier as the session goes on to light rain at the end. Then for the race, it starts with heavy rain, and then will be sunny at the end of the race.
Oh wow! We're getting some rain today, are we then? Should
Yeah.
spice up the race, especially at a track here like Baku, where the wars are almost inevitable around the whole circuit.
Right, so Legend tops the session with a 1:37.5. I don't know what the times should be for each car, so do you know?
Seems like a relatively strong time.
Yeah,
I can't give you any more information than you'll be able to provide, but given the fact he's a second quicker than his teammate and 0.6 of a second quicker than anyone else, although the times are still coming in, it seems to be a really good, strong starting point for Legend. But as you mentioned earlier, Felix, we've got obviously the rain coming in at the start of the race. The drivers will see that on their dashes, and how much will they alter their car setup to suit that rain period? That's something we're only going to find out at the start of the race. But who's going to compromise qualifying in order to have a better race? Because let's not forget, points are scored in the race, not in qualifying.
Yeah, so I honestly think most people will go for a dry setup, as the race will probably be mostly dry. But of course you can't quite know that. It could be about 20 minutes of rain. So it's the predictions are not always correct. So that's not something I can do about. But it's how the game works. So.
So given we're starting on in the wet conditions, expect all the drivers to qualify on the soft tyres because they're all going to be on the wets anyway, so tyre strategy isn't going to come into this one. Come see Sam D, he did set his lap time in the AlphaTauri on the medium tyre. That's probably just to save a soft set. So with the whole Q2 rule, it's basically ruled out for the race. It was, I think Bolin might have gone again on his lap. I'm not sure, he'll be pitching at the end of this lap. But yeah, Legend leads as the first round of laps are in. Both McLarens yet to set a lap. Ashy Boy jumps up into 7th. We'll see what Wuschel's able to do as he rounds the last couple of kinks. It's only him and Jackson, our fellow commentator over at VRL, who's yet to set a lap. I expect the Ferrari powered engines to struggle a little bit more at this circuit, although there is a technical section of turn 1. Most of Sector 2 and all of Sector 3 is pretty much flat out, so the Ferraris will struggle. Jackson emulating that struggle, only P17, Felix. Not a great lap from Jackson there.
No, but it's to be expected. You know, the Ferrari is one of the worst top speeds. So, and surprisingly, the Renault powered cars are pretty fast. They're about the same speed as the Honda powered cars, which are about 5 kilometers per hour faster on a straight line than the Ferrari powered cars.
And of course the Mercedes powered engines being the benchmark. So as you can see, Legend on the pole, but Nick Pancras, who scored his first points for Williams last time out, or Williams' first points this season last time out in Monaco, he's currently just outside of that Q1 drop zone, I should say.
Oh, and Jackson's
15th place.
I was on board with Jackson, and he hit at the inside of the Baku Castle section, so he's out. P17. Yeah,
I
not.
remember Jackson did a similar thing in Spain, where he almost bottled his qualifying. He was able to come back for points though. He doesn't have over a day to reset, but that's still disappointing for the British Ferrari driver.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to do another comeback. It might be difficult for him this time because he doesn't have the straight line speed, of course, as we already talked about. But yeah, I don't know. It's all to play for in the race. Obviously, with the rain, it could help if he gets a good start. But I don't think we should expect a good results from Jackson.
With all due respect to Jackson, yeah, that look. I just rewatched the crash on the stream. A weird crash to have. It's not very often you see a driver hitting the wall there, and it's usually the first part, the inside or the outside, the drivers tend to hit, but never really that part. So drivers, you do expect a few mishaps to happen at the castle section. This race is obviously no different. Crumpton, the only driver yet to set a lap, and he's just knocked into the wall down just at the end of the second sector, so I don't think this is going to be a record-breaking lap for Crumpton, who seems as if he's going to remain down in P20 or not go much further up for what it's worth. Crumpton got himself in a bit of hot water after the Spain race, after picking up quite a few penalty points and a bit of dirty driving, Felix.
Yeah, so obviously it's not really the standards we want in ARC. So we've given him enough penalty points just to make sure he doesn't do it again, hopefully. So yeah, we're just hoping for a better racecraft this time, but we'll have to wait and see. I mean,
moving on to braking was the issue, if you recall, on the viewers
Spain.
on the stream.
Did he participate in Monaco? I don't think so. Or maybe he did.
I can't comment on that one for you.
I commented the race.
With 7 minutes left to go in qualifying, currently Jackson crashed out about 5 minutes ago at the castle section. He will not be progressing into the second part of qualifying. Currently it's the two Williams, the Alfa Romeo of Atix and Crumpton, still in that drop zone. Crumpton did get damage on his lap, so expect more time to come out of that, but quite a disappointing time from Mike Henning down there. 4.6 seconds off Legend in pole, but crucially 1.2 seconds off his teammate Nick Pancras, who's right on the borderline of Mike Alonso, just 2/10 separating them.
Yeah, so yeah, Mike Henning, he's driven quite a few races for Williams this season as reserve, but he just couldn't get anything out of the car, and neither did he do anything very special when he was given a chance at Red Bull. So it could be bad luck, but it could also be driver side. So I don't really know what the issue is, but we'll see in today's race, I guess.
Clearly just struggling to get to grips with the car. Similar situation down at Alfa Romeo. We know team principal Karen was unhappy with his two drivers. He replaced one of them today in the form of Frosty Calvin, who so far doing a good job up in 12th, and notably is 1.5 seconds quicker than his teammate. That is an absolutely huge gap to have, and I'm sure Karen will be looking at that and you know, having a little think to himself, is Atix the way forward? Is Atix the way he wants to go?
Would be interesting to see what the Alfa Romeo team principal will do in the transfer window between rounds 10 and 11. Maybe he'll go for a top tier driver, but he doesn't really have the budget to do so. So that's a pretty big issue that the Alfa Romeo team has.
Another issue that we could see Williams run into, or they may have run into when it came to their driver selection. Nick Pancras certainly the quicker out the two, but with the small budget, as you mentioned, it can be tricky.
seconds. Is anyone on a lap? Don't think so.
Doesn't look like it. We've got VRT Benjamin and Tim Wentic on an outlap.
Benjamin is now starting.
Like Wushel as well. Both McLarens, I have to say, going quite well, 7th and 8th at the moment.
I think that's their... No, they've equaled that before in a qualifying session, I believe. That was at Sandford, I think. Yeah, it was Sandford. As Benjamin goes deep and hits the wall. That's quite a lot of damage. Yeah, his...
I think he's come out in sync. Oh no, they were both on a lap, so... Yeah, disappointing for him. He probably won't get another lap in. But I think he's more than safe anyway, up there in 3rd position.
Yeah, definitely.
Gets out of the way of an absolute sea of traffic, including iQuicks, who's still a 2nd off his teammate. Legend has been pretty much touchable this season. Got all the poles bar from 1, I believe, which was it Jamil?
Jamil and... No. Kai got the... Oh yeah, Jamil and Kai got pole position, both Red Bull drivers.
I'm gonna say I knew it was a Red Bull that took one of the poles, but the AlphaTauri Felix 1 has retired from the session. He could be in a little bit of danger if the track starts to ramp up, because there's less than a second separating him and Nick Pancras, who's 1st in the drop zone. You got to have a feeling that such drivers like TRT, Boyerod, Calvin, Sam Dean, Magic Alonso especially, can find more time in the lap, so we might see Felix be a little bit on edge here of the Q1 elimination. In terms of those in the bracket, Atix improves to 17th. It's still not good enough. He'll have the chance to back off for another lap. Expect Crumpton to improve. He's going through the 1st sector now. Remember, he did get damaged last time out. It's a do or die lap at the moment for Crumpton. He's got to get this lap in to get out of Q1.
His teammate of Top Team is following him behind, also on a hot lap, but I'm not really sure. Well, the DRS is quite powerful, but you lose so much time in sector 2, so... And he's lost about 5/10 already, so he's out of the slipstream. So now he's only gonna get dirty as he bottles it into the wall. Yeah,
that's the problem with another car. You get too focused on their line ahead, and you can see the result as from Top Team there. So, as I said, not only Felix could be in trouble here, but especially the Haas driver Top Team, because there's a lot of drivers improving. Mike Alonso's on board with it, seem to have a pretty tidy middle sector.
As Mike Henning,
the driver who was in the league, he didn't leave the pits, I don't think. Or he did.
I think
he did.
I think he's in sector 2 together with the. He might be with Dart FIFA.
Here comes Crumpton.
Oh.
Across the line. Is it good enough to lift him out of the drop zone?
Yeah, Dart FIFA has damage, so they
So Dart FIFA won't be improving. Will it be enough to see him through? The Ferrari of Bo is still in the pit, so he won't be improving. Sam D, he's currently in 16th, so at the moment Sam D is going to get eliminated in the 1st stage of qualifying if he's unable to improve on his time. Let's see if it's good enough. Sam D is not able to improve on his lap time, so Sam D out of qualifying.
He's going again.
Out of Q1.
I believe.
Is he going? Oh, he will just have a chance to go again. You picked me up on that one there. Yeah, you're right. So obviously made a mistake on the previous lap. He's got a couple of attempts to find to jump the Haas, but it does look as if Frosty Calvin on his debut for Alfa Romeo outqualifies his teammate by 0.7 of a second and moves up into Q2.
As Frosty, I believe he's just pressed the option to retire on track.
Seems to be the case. The only question mark we have at the moment is Sam D. Made a mistake the lap before.
can he push Topia out of the top 15?
About half a tenth separate Sam D and Topia at the moment. He's the last driver to go on a lap, other than Magic Alonso, who will cross the line just before him. iQuicks has invalidated, so it's Legend fastest in Q1. We're still yet to conclude who's going to be eliminated in the first session of Q1 though, Felix.
So, Sam D's past the final corner, but Magic Alonso is now coming across the line to get... He doesn't improve, so... We go back to Sam D, as he opens the DRS now. It's a very long straight, it's just waiting basically. As he goes across the line to take P6. What a lap.
And does knock out Toppy team as well, so he's out of Q1 and won't be participating in Q2. So yeah, strong lap from Sam D at the end now on older tyres. Under the pressure, got it done, but quite a big gap between the top 5 and Sam D. It was over a second, I think.
Yeah, I believe it was. As I believe Toppy team is ST Racing. He said he lifted or something in the YouTube chats. So out in Q1 are Mike Henning, who retired on track, Jackson, who hit the wall, then Atix basically in last, as he well, of course, didn't retire. And then Nick Pancras and Toppy team also out in Q1. So who do you think will go out in Q2?
Well, the easy answer is the people who've just gone through into Q2 11th and 15th, but a lot of situations that can happen and play out. The McLarens look strong. It looked like Sam D had good pace at the end as well. I think it's probably a little bit pointless to say who's going to go out, but the guys we can definitely expect through are the 2 Mercedes, the 2 Red Bulls. The 2 McLarens look quite strong as well, and the Racing Point, so that then becomes a battle between the likes of Crumpton, Sam D, Felix, Frosty, Dart FIFA and Magic Alonso for the final couple of spots in the top 10.
So I was gonna say something, but I don't. Oh yeah, the weather. It's looking like it might be raining soon, so that could play a factor as well. So you see a lot of people going out already, so that might be the case. You know, look at the amount of cars there.
Yeah, as reported in the weather report, it is scheduled to rain at the end of this session, or at the end of qualifying. I didn't know it was coming this early. Clearly the driver's in a rush to set an early lap time.
I think it's possibly going to rain already, so... and Legend is the last one to go out, so maybe we'll have a Legend out in Q2? That
it would have to rain a lot very quickly, as iQuicks has pretty much just cut the first chicane to get ahead of track position, so iQuicks really in a rush to get on with this lap.
As Yuri also overtakes Frosty Calvin.
There's a lot of fighting for track position. What this is going to do is back the pack up, so everyone searching for space is going to back up and get in the right position. Legend is quite a way behind though, I have to say, so he should be alright, but everyone in this main pack is going to back up as they fight for track position, as they fight for space. You can see it happening already. It's one of the Racing Point. So, all a bit of a slipstream train. Magic Alonso the only driver not to leave the pits, and it's the 2 Red Bulls. Tim ahead of Ben. And the rest follow suit, but if the rain is coming, it's a question of when and how quickly.
So, Magic Alonso left the session, so he probably disconnected, so that's why his car is in the pits. I thought he went out. So yeah, that's gonna leave him.
I'll try and invite him back.
That's gonna leave him vulnerable to if there's gonna be some rain. So far, Yuri's lap seems to be pretty good.
Although the rain might not affect the drivers on their laps right now, it's going to cause it pretty much makes it like a one-shot qualifying if it starts raining in 2 minutes. Because if the drivers make one mistake and it starts raining, the grip goes off a cliff, no one can improve, and all of a sudden we've got the final qualifying results for Q2. So it's really important that the drivers nail a lap time whilst they have the opportunity to do so. I have to say iQuick's looking quite strong through the middle sector.
Can you... no, sorry.
You alright there, Felix?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the sector times, but I don't know if that's a lot of having to look at data.
Yeah, I don't have tasks available to me. I think Legends made a move on one of the McLarens. It's Ashy Boy, as Yuri does set the first time, a little bit slower than the first qualifying session, which does potentially indicate that the track is slowing down. I believe Ashy Boy made a mistake in that middle sector.
Look at the time.
Benjamin currently on the pole.
Look at the time Dart FIFA set.
Exactly. A very satisfying number. Congratulations to him. iQuick's only second, a couple of tenths behind Bolin. So iQuick's quicker than Benjamin. Bolin though, 37.9. So I believe we are quicker than what we were in Q1. I think.
Yeah. Legend did a
quicker,
0.6. Yeah. It's only 0.3 faster than Bolin.
Yeah, stronger lap from Bolin there, but I do think Legend got held up a little bit with one of the McLarens in the middle sector, so I think he's got quite a bit more pace now in the bag, but you know, Crumpton seems quite far off the pace, 3.5 seconds, Frosty Calvin as well. Maybe that's around about where you'd expect that Alfa Romeo to be. But yeah, as I said, 3 more drivers still to set a lap, and Magic Alonso, who's just come out of the pits, Ashy Boy, who obviously made that mistake, and Sam D, they need to get some tyres on and move it, because if the rain's coming, they don't want to be in the middle of a lap by the time it hits the track.
Yeah, so I believe... no, never mind. Wushel cancelled his lap. I thought he was gonna do a Lando lap, but he just put his ERS in mode 0. I don't think anyone's on a lap right now, to be honest.
No, everyone's seeming on an in-lap or a cooldown lap. An extra driver to start a lap will be Magic Alonso, who's going through the middle sector right now. Yuri's at the session, so he's retired in the pit, so...
iQuick's hit the wall, but it's not... it isn't... the damage isn't that big,
anyway.
So.
Yeah, he's in the pits anyway. Benjamin's gone again on his lap, so he's clearly not confident in his first lap, even though being a second quicker than teammate Tim, Mr. Wentink, on the other side of the Red Bull garage. So he's going to go again, clearly thinks that he can maybe elevate himself up into 4th, but Yuri retiring is the first kind of suggestion that the rain is very close, because he clearly doesn't think it's worth staying and waiting around for another shot at a lap, as Magic Alonso is starting his lap now.
Benjamin, I believe, either cancelled or is saving ERS for the end of the lap. No. Oh wait, he was saving, I believe. No. Never mind.
Yeah, he's backed out.
He doesn't have enough
Magic
fuel.
Alonso and Sam D, both on laps. Ashy Boy about to start his lap, as Magic Alonso's gone purple to the first sector, so that's impressive. It's looking increasingly dark here in Azerbaijan, so I expect these to be the last laps of this qualifying session, because I assume rain will be coming very shortly.
According to TTV iQuicks, the rain will be here in about 5 minutes. So
just at the end of the day. We know that's not always accurate. 5 minutes could mean 1 lap sometimes, but we'll have to see.
Is Sam D on his lap? Yeah, he is.
Yes, he is.
So this will be their only lap probably.
Most likely. Unless they're fueled for 2, of which they can back off for 1 lap and go again. Magical Alonso coming to the conclusion of his lap though. Is he able to jump his teammate? Is he able to go into the top 10 and land himself a spot in the top 10 shootout? DRS flat open, running it straight to the line. What's it going to be? It's P10
just
for Magical Alonso, a couple of tenths off his teammate. I don't think he'll be too disappointed with that. Next driver to finish his lap should be
Sandy. Yep.
One of the standout performers from the first qualifying session, up in 6th right at the end. He's going to hope that he can emulate that right now. Let's see how the lap was. Is he able to break into the top 10 and knock Magical Alonso out? He is just ahead of both Renaults. Look how close the 2 AlphaTauris are as well. Just a couple of tenths of a second. Or not even a couple of tenths, a couple of thousandths of a second. Separated them, just short of 200ths of a second. Separating the 2 AlphaTauris, so both of them seemingly quite matched, and both of them also in the top 10, which is good news for them. Ashley Boy, the final driver not to set a lap, he's picking up quite a nice toe from one of the Red Bulls ahead of him. I believe that is VRT Benjamin as they cross the line. Let's see what Ashley Boy is able to. Only 11th. Splits the Renaults, but if that's going to be his only lap today, or only lap this session I should say, he's certainly gonna, well, he is gonna miss out on Q3.
And Frosty Calvin put his car in the wall, so he has wing and end plate damage. So I don't think he'll improve. It's gonna be a P14, I think so, or Crompton will get a better lap time and put Frosty down into P15.
I don't know if Crompton can jump 8 tenths of a second though. Up into the top 10, which is the gap, or it's more than that, it's more than a second actually, I take that back. Yeah, obviously the Ferrari powered car is currently bottom 3 in the session. So that obviously shows the struggles that the Ferrari drivers will have.
As Puyrot navigates the castle section quite nicely. He still has a shot at P10 to be honest, but he'll have to make up about 1.1 seconds, so yeah, that's difficult. Now through the real final corner, or because these two are flat out, you could call them corners, but it's very easy.
Both Red Bulls have improved on their time, 4th and 5th currently consolidated, a couple of tenths clear of the second racing point of Yuri, who did retire earlier on. I think Magical Alonso, he's still in the pits. Legend, yellow flag there for letting the other car through. Legend on the medium tyre, so potentially trying to start the race on the medium.
I think we're starting on wets, to be honest.
Of course. Sorry. I take that back.
Or maybe he doesn't even know. I mean, that could be.
I should hope he knows.
Yeah, he asked about it on the Discord, so I think he knows. But would be funny if he didn't.
iCooks has gone purple to the first sector. Is he able to even remotely close the gap to his teammate, who's just ahead of him on track? They're all squabbling for position
my
there.
Goodness. I think the rain's gonna be hitting the track very, very soon. As Legend, he gives a quite nice
lovely toe from his teammate. Yeah, lovely. Maybe that's the sole reason he's gone out.
Oh yeah, I didn't really think of it.
Yeah, he's pulling into the pits, so.
As he
Think of a
did
team game still, half second off.
I wonder when the rain is gonna hit. Probably in the last second or so. or the last minute?
Yeah, I don't think it will. I don't think it'll impact the session. Crumpton did his lap. He's up to 12th. Not trouble in the top 10 though. TRT Bow only 11th at the moment. Usually, if it was under normal circumstances, we'd have a dry start. 11th wouldn't be a bad place to start here, given the high tyre wear. Get a free choice of tyres, but as Felix rightfully pointed out not long ago, all the drivers are going to get a free tyre choice because they're all going to be on the wet tyre. So that kind of rules out that somewhat advantage you get of starting 11th. But I sort of get the feeling the bottom 5 are pretty set at the moment. There's a fair gap of 4/10 between Sam D and TRT Bow, and it's going to take a pretty mega lap from someone to break into that top 10.
Something I've noticed also is that the Red Bull drivers seem to be hitting the walls quite often, so there could be a problem in the race potentially, I guess.
Well, it depends how hard they're pushing the limits. You don't, as Benjamin is half a second up on his time, so Benjamin looking to improve. Yeah, qualifying the race, you have completely different mindsets. Qualifying's all about smashing that one lap, whereas the race you are thinking about the end goal. So you'd assume and you'd hope that the Red Bull drivers would tone it down a little bit for the race, but you know, there's no prizes for going slow, as Benjamin elevates himself up into P3 in an effort that will see him more than safe into the final stage of qualifying.
Is that
so Crumpton's in the pits, so he's eliminated from this qualifying session as Magic Alonso, I said, needed a good lap. He's gone 1,000th behind Felix 1 up into 10th position, so good job from him. However, he's not safe at all at the moment.
I mean, who could be? I mean, Buyurt's probably too late with setting another lap.
Unless we've got a timing glitch.
I think they patched it.
Yeah, Buyurt's in the wall, so...
Yeah, that confirms.
Alternate reality of Gasly and Brendan Hartley from a couple of years ago. So the only... Actually, Sam D's knocked out. He hasn't made a lap, so the only person that can actually trouble Magic Alonso's effort in Q3 is going to be Ashy Boy. His teammate, currently, about 8/10 of a second quicker as Ashy Boy's in the wall. That's going to hinder him. Let's see what his Sector 2 split's looking like. He's 6.5 up on his best, so currently this is good enough to elevate him just... Well, it's going to be really borderline, but I think it will just about get him into the top 10 if he didn't lose too much time by just nicking the wall there. I don't think he does, but we'll have to see. How slippy is that McLaren in a straight line, powered by the Renault engine all the way across the finish?
Oh.
Is it enough for Q3? It is enough for Q3.
That was close at the end there.
Yeah, good final sector from Ashy Boy despite touching the wall as
and there's
the rain has just started. Yeah, so we're certainly going to get that for Q3. We may see one or two drivers risk the soft tyres at the start of Q3 if it hasn't rained enough and just go out and try a lap.
I hadn't thought of that.
You may as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you may as well. Depends how long this track takes to degrease.
It could be, as we wait on Benjamin to retire. This takes quite a lot of time. There we go. That was the end of Q2, so we'll have the results here. So eliminated are Calvin, Crumpton in the Haas, then Buyurot, Samdi and Magic Alonso in P11. As Legend tops the session once again, then followed by Bolin and Benjamin again. I think they've all been in the same order in Q1 as well. I'm not sure. Interestingly
that's right.
enough, all Ferrari powered cars are eliminated, and it's all in a different chassis, so quite interesting. As we wait to...
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned at the start, we do expect the Ferraris to struggle, of course. That looks heavy rain, so I don't
it
think we'll
looks too
see any
wet.
drivers trying the softs.
Yeah, it does look too wet for softs, I think. I think you'd want to go out as soon as possible because it might be a little bit dry enough to go for the inters now. Or, yeah, just inters in general, but it might be quicker now than at the end of the session.
However, usually, inters, the more running you do on them, the quicker they get. So usually they're the quickest tyre by, they're 2 or 3 laps old, so expect drivers to fuel for not just 1 run, but 2, 3, maybe even 4 runs this qualifying session, because as you do more laps, you find more confidence. The tyres do tend to get more grip, so they almost work reversely to how the slick tyres work, but it is what it is, and naturally the driver doing more laps finds more confidence, finds more grip in the car.
Yeah, as we saw in the real life Turkish Grand Prix, the inters became so much quicker at the end. Especially Hamilton managed his tires really well, so it went so fast at the end. The drivers seem to be driving quite slow, especially Felix Wana. He's in high gears. Maybe he's saving fuel so he can do 2. I don't know, or 3.
Or just trying to play it safe, quite frankly.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, you've only got 12 minutes to set a good lap, so I think even pitting once will. It's not really good for your time in general to set a lap time if you pit once. You would have about 2 runs maybe. It's also about like feeling the conditions maybe, as that is almost into the wall for Felix 1.
Legend warming his tyres. It seems if in the opening parts of this qualifying stage we've got drivers struggling to generate the initial grip on the tyres.
Yeah, obviously they've done 30 minutes of dry running before this, so it's the struggle is there, obviously. They didn't even experience a little bit of rain in Q2, of course, when it just started happening.
So, it drizzled.
Yeah,
most of the drivers had finished by then, and they'd retired.
There seems to be a dry line for some reason. It's just how the game works, I suppose.
Necessarily been. I nearly said snowing. I'm really getting in the Christmas spirit. I nearly said snowing instead of raining. But bear in mind, it hasn't been raining for long. I don't know where snow came from. But yeah, it hasn't been raining for long, so there will be some sort of a dry line. As you can see, Felix taking it really easy on his lap.
Or it could be just struggling for grip. Maybe the AlphaTauri is just really bad in raining conditions, as he does that quite well, almost in the wall, but keeps it out. I think we'll see a few cars damaging their wings there. Of course, it's very difficult.
It's difficult. It's difficult enough in the dry, let alone in the wet. So yeah.
Magic Alonso left the session, so maybe you should invite him back. Yeah.
For the second time today. I'll send him a few.
Yeah, that's great. As Yuri goes about 2 seconds quicker than Okay, and then TTV Igrix goes 2/10 quicker than Yuri. And Dart FIFA follows in 4th. And that's Tim Wentink on P1 now.
Tim Wentink, for once, on first place. New surroundings for him. He doesn't stay there for long though, so he's eliminated second by Ben, and third by Legend, who's been on pole for most of the races this season. Not all of them.
Look at the lap time from Bolin though.
Yeah, Bolin always strong in that racing point, and yet again ahead of both Red Bulls and the second Mercedes of Iquix, who's struggling in these conditions over a second off his teammate.
He's shown so much pace already in this season, Bolin, so it's to be expected that he qualifies well now. Especially with the, you know, yeah, Racing Point, their buff of their performance, it's been so good.
Update, yeah.
As he does lock up quite a lot, I must say.
Let's not forget though, as poor as Iquix has been doing in relative to his teammate, it's still more than enough to give Mercedes a comfortable lead in the constructor standing. Racing Point and Red Bull are very close together, so Red Bull need both drivers on the podium, preferably today. Ferrari as well, surprisingly, up in 4th. He does have damage, I've been following him, I'm not sure where he got that, but Ferrari doing a good job so far, and the constructors up in 4th. They benefited a lot at the start of the season before the performance patch came in. And with no cars in Q3, and with Jackson out in Q1, you'd expect them to maybe start slipping back a bit more in the constructors battle behind the likes of Renault and McLaren, who've had a really poor start to the season, and they're going to want to put that right as soon as possible.
As there was a bit of squabbling in the just before the 3rd sector between Legend and Bolin. I don't know what happened there, as Bolin does go into the pits now. As Legend does another lap. Yeah, he's gonna do another lap. So Mike Henning has left the session as well.
I'll invite him. I think we've got one of the McLarens on another lap as well, Felix.
We got what?
I know a McLaren is on a lap as well, I believe. I'm not sure which one. Yeah, it's Wuschel in the middle sector. Currently up in 8th. Looking to improve on that. Dart FIFA as well. Might be on an in lap, might be on a push lap. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I don't know as well. He doesn't use his era, so, and Wuschel has crashed, not that hard, but wing damage in the castle section, to be expected of course, when, well, it's so difficult, especially in these conditions, so.
Yeah, it makes it even harder than it usually is to navigate in the dry. Slows it down though, so yeah, it does slow it down. So there is that argument of, you know, maybe it is a little bit easier the slower conditions, but nevertheless, it doesn't, in my eyes, it doesn't make it any easier.
Not true. I get what you mean. I mean, you drive slower, so. But then you've also got the argument that if you drive slower, then you have less downforce, so could be that also. As Legend invalidated his lap, he'll drive into the pits, so interesting. Tim Wentink is on his lap. Yes, he is. He's the only one now, I believe. Or is the timing glitched, maybe? I don't know.
I'm not entirely sure.
Because many people are now in the pits and it's only 2 minutes for 50. Surely they must be going out very soon.
maybe just opting for one run at the end. Still 2 minutes to go, so they do need to get a move on. Oh, as Benjamin's got damage on his front wings, so Benjamin isn't going to get another run in. Third is the best he's going to do for today, so now he's going to wait for Tim Wenting.
Tenting.
I always do this in ALC streams. I always get something wrong about Tim.
His number of VRL wins.
Well, yeah, Tim's on his lap. I think he was purple to the middle sector, that Red Bull, and it's down for showing strengths in the middle sector.
His third sector seems to be good as well.
Is he able to claim his
As
first
that
pole
is
position?
Benjamin smashing it in the wall. Oh, so close.
5,000th of a second. Oh, tiny gaps. Tiny.
I think
And that is the
Benjamin,
best
of course, he got damaged, so maybe he should have waited for Tim and given him slipstream.
That could have given that that crucial 5,000ths, and even the top three are so close. Bolin now within a tenth of Legend.
Is Legend gonna set a lap? Oh, he's on his out lap now. I think
He's
he'll
on
do.
an out lap. He should get round in time, barring any drama.
I believe that the final sector is about 34 seconds.
He'll be fine. But
Yeah.
Bolin's gonna get the chance to finish this lap and should be able to go again. I think he's on. He's not using any ERS, so I assume that he's on a cooldown. Then he's gonna go again.
Bolin's on a lap.
Is he on a lap?
Yeah, he's.
Oh, of course. I saw the flashing lights. I saw the flashing lights at the rear. He's purple in the final sector. So,
Yeah, I mean,
Or the middle
I think
sector, I
everyone
should
has
say.
been purple in the second sector. It's a glitch, I think. It's always the second sector where everyone is going purple. So, could
yeah,
be a glitch.
maybe that is somewhat false. Yuri retires, so 6th is the best he's gonna do. Let's see what Bolin can do. Can he go into pole? He can go onto pole. Half a second. So, pressure on for Legend. Tim, as we mentioned, not going again. What's Legend able to do?
He gets a lot of oversteer. He doesn't even go full throttle there between those corners. Maybe the conditions are getting worse just as he's about to set a lap and he goes wide there at the chicane, so...
He's a tenth and a half up on his best. He needs to find more time.
I don't know what times he did in his second sector, but maybe he could gain a lot of time in this one. As he...
We'll have to see.
Yeah, that's
Gotta
it.
keep he's in the wall.
That's it.
Was that pole gone for Legend? It is pole gone for Legend. And surely, let's see who else on that. That has got to be pole for Racing Point and pole for Bolin. What a lap in the wet conditions.
Wow. That's just crazy.
Got a few drivers yet to set a lap. Darth FIFA in 7th. He's got a big gap either way, so I'll be surprised if he's able to improve.
I didn't see his
Wushel
sector.
and Felix. I haven't seen Darth FIFA's lap either. He's too busy focusing on Legend. Darth FIFA improves, not able to improve his position, however. Felix is going to be the next driver to cross the line. Can he improve? He can improve up to 8th position. An 8th and a half, 10th gain there from Felix. And here we wait for Wushel, who's coming down the final straight. Now the last driver yet to set a lap. He's not going to challenge Bolin at the top. Can he improve on his position? He can't. Only 2/10 improvement from the McLaren, so the McLaren's 9th and 10th.
Bowling goes even faster.
He
1.3
improves,
seconds
wow.
to Legend.
I didn't even notice it on another lap, but the headliner qualifying, Racing Point on pole.
Wow, that's crazy. 1.3 seconds. I honestly don't know what to say. That is a crazy lap. As
1.3 seconds clear of his competition, the only driver below the 1 minute 50 mark.
wow. And under the 1 minute 51 mark. Or no, wait, I'm saying that wrong. Yes, I am.
Let's go with what I said.
Yes. Alright, so then Bolin, Legend, Tim Wenting, Benjamin, Iquix, Yuri, Dark FIFA, X Felix One, Wushel, and Ashy Boy. That's the order in which we will start the top 10 with. As I hope everyone's still in the session. We invited everyone back, so I think everyone rejoined as well.
I think everyone did rejoin. Yeah. Welcome everyone in the chat. As predicted, heavy rain for the start of this race. Drivers have got 26 laps of the Baku street circuit to navigate. It's going to be interesting. One of the shortest, or the shortest run to turn 1 in the calendar.
Isn't it
shorter
Spa?
than Monaco? Yeah. No. Spa's longer than you think, actually.
I thought Spa's length to turn 1 was illegal, actually, or not to FIA standards. Yeah, so something like that.
Either way, it's a very short run to turn 1 from pole. I think I'm right.
Yeah, it is pretty short, especially with.
It's a short run.
I mean,
so
yeah.
Let's look at the tyres everyone's starting on. I assume full wets.
Yep.
I can't even find.
It's detail. As Bowling goes straight on at turn 2.
You'd think after commentating for nearly 3 years now, I'd be able to find the tyre graphic, but clearly, as Bowling does his best Mahavir Raghunathan impression and turns it around down that little side road.
A lot of people disqualified. Wow, that's a lot.
So who we're expecting to gain positions? Jackson is one that I'm going to have my eyes on. Obviously crashed out in qualifying. He's going to hope to not repeat that again. And hopefully, I mean for his sake, can move his way up the order a bit closer to his teammate. You gotta admit though, for someone like Alfa Romeo, the only team yet to score, with Frosty up in 15th, the best qualifying of the season, you've got to argue that in a crazy race like today, if there's absolute madness at the start, there could be a potential opportunity for points for the Alfa Romeo team.
Yeah, I hope they can score their first points. That would be good, as that's Tim Wenting spun round. Wim Tenting spun round.
Tim displaying his incredible
drifting skills. Why is he always warming up his tires a lot? That's probably why. I mean, you don't want to stretch these tires because it's gonna dry up. It's gonna dry up. The percent tire wear doesn't matter.
Especially the rear tires as well. Yeah, rear tires take a beating.
Is Benjamin doing the same?
Given all the...
Doesn't look like it. And Legend and Iquix
have got on with it. Yeah.
They're in another world.
As Legend so usually is in these ARC races, but everyone's kind of sat back, the calm before the storm, quite literally, as it is raining here in Baku. And the drivers navigating the final couple of corners, and then it'll be race time at Baku.
Bolin has underfueled his car. That's... and as well as Iquix.
Surely in these conditions, running lean.
Bolin and Iquix both did. I don't like to underfuel my car, honestly. I usually take about 2 to 3 laps of extra fuel. I burn a lot, usually.
The problem is when you're in a race like this with the wet, if you run rich, you spin up the rears too much, you risk spinning out. And you end up in lean a lot to protect that wheel spin. So if you run extra fuel and then lean for a few laps, you're going to have 5 or 6 laps extra fuel, which is going to weigh you down. So from a weight perspective, it makes sense.
But like, I mean, pad traction. Anyway, I can't see the lights. Can I see the lights?
I think we're waiting for the lights to load in. Here we go.
Oh, 4, 5 red lights, and lights go out, and away we go. It seems like Bolin has a decent start. Legend seems to fall back, and that's TTV Iquix in the wall, probably. A little bit of damage as Red Bull attacks the Mercedes driver, and that's an AlphaTauri spinning there. That is X Felix 1, so after, and that's a Mercedes almost spinning in the wall as well. Carnage at the back, so many people ghosting. So many people
Tim
ghosting.
having a good start. Up into, well, what is second position. There is a timing glitch, so apologies for that. Benjamin has also got ahead of Legend as he just about slows it down into turn 4. Legend reclaims that position as Benjamin goes deep. There's really little grip at the moment as Benjamin under attack now from Yuri. The other Mercedes driver, Iquix, all the way down in 9th position battling with Darth FIFA, but Bolin leads us away after what was a stonking qualifying lap. Tim Wenting up in 4th position, pressurising him throughout this first lap.
Yeah, so it seems like it does. No, it didn't. Oh wow, that's Buyrod already. In P7, or well, that should be, yeah, that's P7. Side by side through the, oh, and that is TTV Iquix in the wall.
That's Iquix.
Yeah, 3 back races in a row now, I think. That's
yeah, really poor from Iquix. Not what you'd expect.
I feel Magical also
Mercedes driver. He's been collected there.
Carnage at the back.
Around. 4 wide here. They do back out. Somehow they keep it clean. Jackson's in amongst all of this. He's gained a couple of places off the start as he's trying to get past Nick Pancras now. So he does do that successfully as he fends off Sam D in the AlphaTauri there. I think he has. Yes, he has. There's Atix looking for a move down the inside of this. They're 3 wide into the, as you call it, Felix, the final proper corner.
Sam D
the
also
final king become a little bit more tricky in this weather.
As that is,
leads us
is that
across the line.
Iquix slow at the front there? There's so much going on.
Iquix has got damage, so he's got to pit.
Wait, is that Benjamin's in the pits? Interestingly. How many people? Oh, Jack! Oh,
there's a big crash.
So much. Jackson is retired. That's unfortunate.
That's surely going to be a safety car. We've got Ashy Boy,
virtual
safety car.
That was carnage.
So Benjamin pit, and he's not in P4. Let me clarify. Timing glitch going on at the moment. So he's come out in P. I don't know. We'll have to wait for this. But oh, intermediates for Benjamin. Intermediate tyres on that car of Benjamin. So what do you make of that call, Felix? It seems a little bit early.
Wait, is Benjamin on the?
He's on the inters.
It's too early, I think.
Surely it's too early.
But I mean, maybe you gain time under VSC, but he did. Oh, Buyrod has a drive-through, so a fantastic start, but.
Oh, Calvin's gone off.
Just
before the castle section he's got going again. It's absolute carnage at the start of this race. Atix is in the wall, he's got no front wing. So his story at Alfa Romeo keeps getting worse, and his seat, we already know he's under pressure. That's not going to help him at all as the 2 Williams fly past him. Nick Pancras now back in the session. Poor Jackson there, crashed in qualifying, he pretty much got taken out in the race.
Yeah, nothing you can do about it really. Legend seems to be pressurizing Tim Wenting here. I can't see the intervals on my screen for some reason.
No, neither can I. There's obviously one of the glitches going on at the moment. That should sort itself out in just a couple of laps. Atix now out the session. Has he come together with Benjamin? He has!
Oh no.
As there's another virtual safety car. So Benjamin with damage now. If that intermediate strategy was going to work, it's going to go completely out the window now. But will this cause any of the other cars to pit and take the chance under a VSC? If you're a Nick Pancras, do you maybe dive into the pits and just give it a go because you're in a Williams?
I think so. He's moving over to the left-hand side. There he goes. And his teammate wanted to follow, I think, but he didn't.
I still get the feeling it's too early.
Could be.
New front wing for Ashy Boy. Magical Answer just takes tyres. It seems as if Benjamin has forced a lot of people into doing a stop. As we're now underway again. Bolling with a 2-second lead out in front. Legend just a second behind, and Yuri makes up the top 4. Good start from Crumpton, up in 17th. Oh, up in 7th, sorry. Jesus.
Should be 6th as Buyerot will, of course, have to pit, but
He should have to
moved.
take this either this lap or next lap.
Ah, yeah, of course. It does seem to have a lot of pace though, Buyerot.
Yeah, certainly had a good start. That Ferrari in the wet, it's less dependent on its engine, on its straight line speed, more dependent on the actual chassis and aerodynamics driving the car through the corners. Meanwhile, looking at the intermediate tyre runners, they're just getting absolutely swamped by the guys around them. Sam D's just breezed past Frosty on the straight, and looks like he's going to lose another position to one of the Hasses. Magical Alonso struggling so much as well into the castle section. So certainly way too soon for intermediates at the moment.
As I saw someone lose a bit of front wing, that might be Sam D. I can't see it that well.
It's all crazy in the midfield.
Look at the gaps that have been formed as Sam D goes in the
10
wall
seconds
again.
already between
That is
Yuri and
crazy.
Legend.
It's a little bit of squabbling
Bolin
between.
still leads the race.
This Legend has caught up to the back of Tim, by the way.
It's going to be tricky to make a move on Tim though.
Yeah, Tim is very, very good driver, so with a lot of VRL wins, so it's going to be difficult.
Doesn't even have a win in F2.
You do.
I do. Back to the racing, however. It looks like we've got more drivers pulling the trigger onto the intermediate tyres. Or we don't. Mike Henning going on a fresh set of wets. That's a interesting strategy from the Boffins at Williams. Sam D as well onto the wets, so he must have had damage, as you mentioned, Felix, but yeah, the drivers who are benefiting right now are the drivers who are just keeping it clean, and that is the drivers pretty much in the top 9. Or top 8, I should say.
And Buyerward still
Because,
has to serve a drive-through, so...
He'll have to serve it this lap, so that's going to promote Crumpton up to P6, and everyone consequently behind him, all the way down to Ashy, but I don't think we'll pick up that position because he's quite far off, as he's just exited the pits this lap. Still in P10 though, so, you know, but I have to say, it looks as if the spray is getting lighter and the rain is also getting lighter itself, so...
Legend now on Tim
Legend's
Wenting.
quite
Tim
close
Wenting
to-
defends, or he's going into the pits. What is he going to do? He's going into the pits. So that's quite smart, as Legend had to use a lot of ERS. Bolin sets the fastest lap, so
Yeah.
maybe the inters aren't that fast, but the rain isn't. It's stopping almost.
Yeah, Yuri into the pit as well, followed by Dalfi for follow Boyroid, who's got to serve that drive-through as we said. Looks like a lot of drivers. The popular decision now for the intermediate. So let's follow Tim on his outlap. He has crucially come out just ahead of Crumpton, so he's got clean air. If he can fire them tyres up and get going and set a good lap, he could A, come out of Legend. If it's good enough and the wets really not necessarily disintegrate but go off the cliff that much, it could even be a potential jump on Bolin, as there's only a couple of seconds in between them two, and the gap between Tim and Bolin will watch.
20
I'm going to
seconds.
go for the gap to the leader. 21 seconds. Not sure what the average pit stop loss here is.
It's increasing, I believe.
It's sort of sat at the same kind of gap.
Benjamin makes a position up on top your team who pitted, so yeah, it's at the same. So currently it's and he does hit the wall. Yeah, he has damage at his
pretty
front
good damage.
right wing end plate, so that's
Yeah, shame for Tim.
He could
Big shame
continue,
for Tim.
I guess, with the amount of
He'll
damage
probably
that
get
he
away
has.
with it. There is another stop scheduled as it will go back to dry, so if you can put up with it for a couple of laps, it should be okay, but he'll probably drop back.
It's a lot of
As I assume Bolin is in the pits, as will Legend. Legend does follow him into the pits.
Mike
For
Henning
once,
is
Legend
almost
isn't actually
up.
rude.
And
Yeah.
Tim Wenting smashed it in the wall there, losing his left front end plate now, so he has no front
I
wing
guess
end
he's going
plates.
to make another stop.
Now I
He's
think
gonna
he'll
continue.
continue. Okay,
Yeah. He
could
faked
have
us out.
continued. I don't know. It's difficult to.
Yellow flag in sector 3. Bow in the wall. Boyrod had to serve his drive through last lap. Ferrari's day goes from bad to worse. So he's
He's
going to
still in
drop out the
seventh
points now.
though. Oh, everyone pitted.
Ashy
I
Boy
think.
put it in the wall. Just seen Ashy Boy. He squirmed off into the wall. So he's going to have to pit again. He's got no front wing. That's going to promote Frosty Calvin into the points. And Benjamin just a couple of seconds behind him.
Interesting. Dark FIFA's pretty close to Yuri, and Yuri's not that close to Legend. The gap says 3/10 for me for some reason.
Well, I can't see the gaps at the moment, so yeah, Yuri isn't 3/10 clear of Legend. He's actually defending from Darth FIFA, who they've both jumped in because he's had to make that extra stop because he absolutely bottled it in the wall. So he's going to have to make up that time. Certainly capable of doing it though. Still 20 laps to go. Magical Alonso makes a move on Ashy Boy, or Ashy Boy drops behind Magical Alonso after the pit stops.
Mike Henning says
Frosty
bye.
Calvin, currently in 10th. Yeah, he's not challenging anyone anyway. He's already a lap down, or he was before they pit. So I don't think that's going to be too much of a loss to the Williams team. But yeah, Frosty Calvin. Surely he's going to be overtaken by Benjamin soon, but he's put himself in a good position if there's a bit more
Yuri
carnage.
makes a mistake. That means Dart FIFA's going past Yuri now, just before the sector 3 split, as he does take the position. But maybe Yuri will fight back, as he has a lot of ERS to play with.
Yeah, and he's got the long straight to his benefit as well, so I assume this will be an easy repass.
They're both using a lot of ERS
Oh, Tim's
now.
out of the session.
What? Wait,
Tim's
what?
out of the session. Tim's crashed.
And that's
Tim's
a safety
crashed at the
car.
final corner.
I would like to see who's that X-Felix one is passing. What's that? Oh, and his car's been removed.
He was just in the wall.
He was in the wall, yeah. That's good for Buirard, I believe. Oh, he just pitted. That is that's not good for Buirard. But he can
It's
catch
not
up to the
necessarily
pack
bad
now.
for him. Yeah, it's not bad for him. This is good for someone like Benjamin, because he was far off. He's not going to be any more. So he's doing some intense tyre warming down.
There seems to be quite a lot of disconnections for some reason.
Yeah, quite a bit of lag going on today. This is not actually what Bolin would have wanted, because he was quite happy building a gap there to Legend, but now he's going to have that 2 seconds or so slashed in half, or slashed completely.
What was the gap? Do you think 5 seconds?
I think it was 2 or 3 seconds. It wasn't quite 5, but nevertheless, still a gap that is well, no longer a gap.
The only team with 2 cars in the top 10 right now is Racing Point, number 1 and 4. So
Yeah. It's been a crazy race so far. I'm only 7 laps in, so a lot more to go as we do transition back to dry. The safety car still hasn't picked the leader up.
Yeah, I thought it must have done it last lap, but I think Bowling passed it on accident or something. as hopefully the safety car will drive. Yes, there he goes. Dart FIFA now up to P3. What did Yuri do? Or wait, oh, it was like this already. Never mind.
Yeah.
So it's a Renault in P3. That's the second time a Renault would get a podium, probably. That will mean they have completed one of their team goals of getting 2 podiums. So that'd be great for them. Yeah. So yeah, Jackson is not happy with iQuick's and this pit lane entry there at the first lap, I think it was. Must be. As Crompton gains 8 positions, that's the most out of anyone here, and then Calvin, top your team, gained 6, which is quite a lot. Then of course the likes of Benjamin and then Tim also, but he DNF'd and lost a lot of positions.
Yeah,
so,
congratulations to Tim.
Yeah, congratulations Tim for bottling it. Sam D's on the medium tires, so I mean it depends on how long the safety car goes on, because I did kind of Sam D's strategy once in VRL Belgium season 4. I was the only one to go onto Inters at the beginning of the safety car periods, and then at the end of the safety car periods the track was too wet, so and then I could have won, and I did win there. So it's a wild strategy, but it could pay off if he manages to not get lapped by the safety car. He's driving really slow.
Of course, and Sam D, medium tires.
He's driving really slow though.
Is that sorry? Is that who you just picked up on? I wasn't completely.
Yes, Sam D.
Yeah, I presume the safety car will be coming in next
Sam D has
lap,
damage. Well, there goes the strategy.
If you can't keep it on the track on the safety car, it's certainly way too early for dries. So I was gonna say, if the safety car was a couple of laps later, maybe some drivers would consider a soft tyre strategy, or a slick tyre strategy, but just seems just like, you know, Ben in the Inters, it just seems a touch too early.
Nick Pankras probably disconnected once again because he's asking for another invite.
I'll send him.
He'll probably get disconnected again.
Send him about 20 then.
Yeah, that should do. Sam D's he's driving so slow because he's almost hitting the walls here. It seems to be drying a lot though. It's almost as if there's almost no spray coming off the tires now.
Still, it's a greasy surface.
Mike Henning is in the pits as well, and he's gone on to mediums, but he's so far back.
I mean,
don't
they
think.
may as well. They've got nothing to lose, do they?
Did something happen here? Bolin. What? Why is he in P6?
That is a... Ooh.
He didn't stop. He didn't stop, so he must have spun.
He must have made a mistake.
Yeah.
We've missed that.
Crumpton goes onto me. No, he doesn't. But Bolin does. I mean, if if you're in the middle of the pack, and maybe you should go for that strategy.
No, I don't think so. I really.
I mean, okay.
It either works miraculously, or it's terrible.
Okay,
You've
so
gotta
think
remember,
about it.
Even if.
So you're gonna lose about maybe 10 seconds on the first 3 laps, but then everyone has to pit, of course. It's a good strategy, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Ben's gone on to fresh hards, so not confident in the mediums going 16 laps. I think they would.
Yeah, they make it just about, I think.
But this isn't good news for the likes of Legend, FIFA, Yuri, Wushel, Crumpton, Toppy, Team. Bolin went onto the medium, so whatever mistake he made has been paid back to him, because I think we can say with pretty much confidence that we're on a dry track now.
Yeah, it's dry. And Boyerward's now provisional P2 probably, after a drive-through and damage.
Provisional P3.
P3 for Frosty Calvin. I think the Alfa Romeo team principal will be quite happy with that. He's on the hard tires though.
He's in the wall again.
Wait, who?
Sam D put it in the wall.
I don't think it's a surprise.
No, he's not. He's just not able to get to grips with this dry track. Expect the safety car to be in this lap.
Yeah,
which would be absolute curtains for Legend. There we go.
There's the message.
Surely he's going to want to go as soon as possible and just get in the pits, rather than back everyone up and lose more time. And that's exactly what he is doing. Because technically, as per the regulations, he can just follow the safety car into the pits as close as he likes.
Yeah, he can.
Not doing any backing up, because I assume he's just going into the pits, and that is what he's doing. Or is it?
Yeah,
oh, it is.
there
he
goes.
He's and get held up behind the
Yuri goes.
Yeah, it's interesting.
A lot of people now in the pits. And Bodin now a provisional P1 again.
Ooh.
What's
yeah,
the
he's gonna breathe past Yuri.
Yeah, he's already gained a second.
The problem this causes for Toppy team is he had to double stack behind his teammate, so he's going to be down in 14th, which is basically last after you discount Mike Henning and Sam D, who've had atrocious races. But yeah, as you said, falling into the lead, Yuri being, well, just discarded here. As that's Boyerod looking down the inside, he makes that move. Oh, and Yuri's gone round.
I think he gave enough space, to be honest.
Yeah, you get the feeling that was a stupid battle to fight for Yuri. I understand he was trying to hold up Bo for his teammate, but there's just no point.
I don't.
Their Minters will be absolutely cooked. But Legend all the way down in P7.
Yeah, and Dark Fever right behind him, but I don't think he can challenge, to be honest. It's far back, so, and he's in a slower car, and that's out of a second now. I feel Magic Alonso is back in the race now. Sam D sets the fastest lap. Not that great.
Legend's gonna make a move past Yuri.
Yeah, quite simple, to be honest, and then. I don't think Yuri will score points.
No way. Well, unless for another safety car, of course.
X Felix 1 is on hards and he just overtook Calvin. So,
yeah,
yeah.
Felix 1, provisionally in third, and if the medium tyres absolutely drop off, which is a possibility, let's be real, he could be in the running for a podium.
Now Calvin gets overtaken by Benjamin.
Yeah.
Does he fight back? No.
To not fight that. Calvin's smart to not fight that. Because he knows his battle isn't with these guys, but if he can lose as little time as possible battling them, maybe get carried along in the slipstream, subsequently possibly DRS in a couple of laps, he could hang on to a couple of points for Alfa Romeo.
As Nick Pancras is in P12, so he could get points. He's pretty
On
close.
the medium tyre as well, so he's well placed. If he can make these tyres last, and that's the thing, we don't know how long these tyres are going to go. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, Nick Pancras looking as if he may be able to start to challenge FPL Magic Alonso and Ashley, who are both on the hards. And oh, is that Crumpton off? That is Crumpton off.
Does he have damage? No. I think he went.
I think he backed out. Yeah, he went down the side road. But I can see that his rear tyres are quite hot, so.
I think he retired the track, maybe?
He's going to try around the outside. Oh, that's brave.
It's going to be
Doesn't get it done.
very bold. As that is Benjamin. Is he going past X Felix 1 now? Yes, he is. He has to use a little bit of ERS though. So they're now side by side. Looks good. The Williams a little bit in the way.
Move past her little sister. I don't think Felix wanted to battle that too hard.
And that is Nick Pancras, pretty close to Ashy Boy.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll go for it, but as he goes quite deep, doesn't hit him though. Very important.
Confident on the brakes from the leg.
Very
confident on the brakes. Yeah. His DRS is now activated. Ashy Boy is going to get towed along.
Overtake mode on. Could that be a move around the outside, possibly? That he just doesn't give.
That was silly from Nick. That was silly from Nick. He shouldn't have put his car there.
Does Ashy Boy have damage
and,
though?
No, he doesn't. But Nick completely inflicted car damage. Ashy Boy made one move slightly away from the racing line. In that situation for Nick, you just back out. You know, you can't make a move unless you're going to commit to a move down the inside. Stupid from Nick there, and the damage is totally deserved. Some of the drivers need to learn to just sit behind.
Ashy Boy doesn't seem to have damage, so that's good.
No, he doesn't. There's Nick's in the wall again. So, yeah, his race goes from bad to worse.
Could have been points, but unfortunately.
All of this carnage is just making things look better and better for someone like Kelvin, up in 6th.
As Legend, Legend is already in P4 almost, as he.
On the back of, yeah. Moves past
but I
Felix.
believe Felix fights back, maybe. Oh, that would have been great.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will.
As that is also Dark FIFA
really
past. Good Legend.
Legend could be up into the podium positions in a couple of laps.
Yeah.
He's really going along well on them tyres.
Buyurt's quite fast on these. He's in this. I think he just got overtaken by Benjamin, but he's still sticking with Benjamin.
Yuri makes a move past Nick, who's in the pits. Yuri's got a fair race to construct if he wants any points from today. He is taking time out the guys ahead of him. If there's a bit more carnage, then surely points are a possibility.
He does have a fast car, so everything's almost possible.
Meanwhile, at the front, there's nearly a 10-second gap between Bolin and Benjamin. So things looking good for the Racing Point driver. Will this be the first non-Mercedes win as Yuri is in the wall?
No. Safety car. That's a spanner in the works for Bolin.
So if you're Bolin, do you pit for fresh tyres? You got the gap?
Yeah, I think so. I think you'll rejoin in P2 or 3. That's definitely the way to go.
Fresh mediums, I assume.
I think
Softs
so.
Is a bit borderline. Surely Benjamin's got a pit for tyres now. Though.
Oh, he's not going in. He's not going in. No one's going in.
Fakes. Legend does go in.
He goes quite slow though.
We do have a difference.
Why is he going so slow?
Maybe to back up the field, so Legend loses as many spots as possible. I don't know.
Legend is in the pits though.
Yeah, I said fresh mediums. Maybe he's backing up the field to minimise the people who stop, because for bowling it is a risk if someone stops and puts on fresh tyres, whereas if he backs them up, there's more places, there's less of an incentive for people to go onto the fresh tyres and try the alternate strategy.
Kelvin's in P9 on a new set of mediums, but I don't know if he can hold Magic Alonso and Ashy Boy behind.
That was probably the right decision for the Alfa Romeo driver.
Yeah, he would have been P7 otherwise, so... But it will be difficult.
Yeah, he would have just been overtaken by everyone behind him if he wouldn't have taken the tyres there, so...
And Mercedes team principal is not happy with rewards. I don't know why. Oh, never mind. It's about a comment he made on TTV Iquix' driving in lap 1.
Well, that was certainly questionable in itself.
How many laps? Like 2 more laps of yellow flag running? I think so. As a piece of front wing is flying there. And that's Wushel who probably make contact with Mike Henning. Yep. These penalties can be removed, but
yeah, nice and easy.
Wushel doesn't have damage, so I don't believe he'll pit. What does Mike Henning do though? Oh, Mike Henning is overtaking everyone. I believe the green light's on the safety car, so he can overtake if he wants to.
He's going to pits. Fresh tyres, I assume. He's a lap behind anyway, so...
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to get points.
Is everyone... Nick Pancras could get points if he catches up to the pack. And Yuri could get points as well. Oh, he's on soft tires. So he'll be flying at the beginning.
Softs will probably make the end.
I think so. It's only 10. Okay, well, Yuri goes into the pits.
Another set of softs, maybe, just to make sure they go to the end?
Could
if
be.
He's put a U set on now.
No, mediums.
So, don't want to the softs. Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't think they would have made it. Alright then. So, Benjamin's stopped 3 times, and so is Legend. Magic Alonso with 4 stops in the top 10. It's crazy.
Shows the craziness of this race.
Yeah, Mike Henning is gonna overtake some people once again, as he doesn't get enough space. Okay then. I mean, he's allowed to, because the green light's on at the safety car, but not everyone can see it. And he's not ghosted for some reason. I did this in VRL as well, and then apparently I wasn't ghosted, so... that was in Austria, so...
Back in Austria.
Yeah, I think I hit 1 or 2 people. So I got my deserved penalty points for it. My only...
Felix, the absolute dirty criminal.
Yeah, very dirty. I should be banned, I think. Safety car doesn't go in, I believe. No.
Yeah, we'll go out for 1 more lap, so we'll do our best to fill the void. As commentators, that is our job. Thanks to everyone on the live stream, sticking with us. It's going to be a very dramatic conclusion to this race. We've got drivers on hard, a driver on old mediums, drivers on fresh mediums, and we've even got a driver on soft at the back. Don't expect him to make too much of an impact.
Wait, who's on softs? No. Oh, Mike Henning. Okay, no.
Mike Henning is on the softs, but Nick Pancras is going to pit for soft. So he's going to give it a
go. On the hards he won't have any chance, so... It's probably the best a good decision he made. So, fair play.
Yeah, I mean, I said it before, I'll say it again, he's got nothing to lose, he's in a Williams. Get the softest tyres you can on and just run it to the end. And that's exactly what Nick Pancras is doing and looking for a second point scoring finish in a row.
So, wow, there's only 2 5-second time penalties. There's not even a... No one has a penalty, really. I think, yeah. For exceeding track limits and such. Well, I mean, it's a difficult circuit to to extend track limits.
Yeah, I was going to say it's one of the hardest circuits to extend track limits, probably even harder than Monaco.
Yeah, Monaco Turn 1 is difficult, Nouvelle Chicane, of course. And the second part of the swimming pool, oh my Henning is...
Yeah, that was deserved, he just drove alongside Yuri and gave him a tap.
Does Yuri have damage? I mean...
No damage, but I'm not really sure what he's doing. Anyway, back to the front, Bolin. I believe we will have the...
Oh. Mike Henning got a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag.
Well, he's out the race anyway, so that doesn't matter. What's tyre smoke there from Bolin? He's got softer tyres than the car directly behind him, VRT Benjamin. So that's going to give him a good advantage off the restart. People like Benjamin and Felix expect to see struggle in this restart.
As I believe he'll go soon, probably. I don't know what Bolin usually does at restarts, to be honest.
I mean, at Baku, as I said, you can wait all the way up until the line, I believe.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, you can't, not specifically at Baku,
and there he goes.
Any track. He's gone now. And yeah, he has caught Benjamin napping. TRT Bow is in the slipstream, but the straight line speed of that Ferrari
Felix is almost there
Felix,
alongside. Doesn't go for it though.
He has a look. He had to back out. But further back, what's the battling going on? Frosty making a move down the inside of Magic Alonso. He gets past. He could also get passed by Ashy Boy, who nearly runs into the back of the Alfa Romeo. He doesn't. There's Nick Pancras making a move up into 13th, so Pancras now on the borderline of points.
Dark
Back to top
FIFA.
Felix. Is he getting overtaken by Dark FIFA? Yes, he is. And he makes that move.
And there goes Legend as well.
Fourth. He can challenge for a podium. Legend as well, yeah, let's not forget Legend.
He goes
on them fresh medium
the
tyres. Yeah, he kept that up wall, he was fine though.
Crumpton around the outside of Wushel. Tries to... it's difficult to overtake there, but it seems to be pretty clean though. Wushel has to stick behind for now. He'll probably get a chance to overtake him at the back straight.
Ashy Boy's got some damage. He went into the back of Calvin. Calvin did nothing wrong, he was just on
Yellow
the apex
flag,
trying to
top your
navigate
team. There he goes, top your team. Is there...
Darth
no
FIFA now front the back of Bo. This could be a
And
podium
Darth
for the
FIFA made
team.
him.
Oh, there goes Legend.
Did he make a mistake? Legend already up
No, he
into
didn't.
P4.
Legend was just so quick. I think we all forgot about Legend.
He'll probably...
And
Oh
this
my...
is why Bolin... Yeah, he's so quick. This is why Bolin... Well, that's brave. Here comes Darth FIFA. Is he going to make a double move?
Darth FIFA, come on,
Surely
boy,
not.
you can do it. Darth, oh come on, he has the straight line speed to do it, I believe. 3 wide,
JRT
there we
boy,
go.
It's going to be 3 wide down the main straight. Legend with the inside. Surely he's going to take the position
squeezes
he
2
is.
people wide.
That was brave. That was very brave. Bo and Darth
Oh,
FIFA
Bo
still
is
battling.
damaged.
Oh no, we're in the wall.
Didn't give
That was so
sufficient
similar
space.
to the Force India incident back in 2017.
Yeah,
As Wushel and Felix are now going to get involved in this.
Felix down the inside, no, doesn't really make it stick. As Wushel, sorry,
Crumpton.
Felix, oh!
Crumpton's put Felix in the wall. Oh, this is all going off. Nick Pancras has made another stop. So there was clearly something going on further back, but TRT Bow with damage holding up a train here.
Yeah, that's So unfortunate. He's driven so well to get back into the position he was, but if he can keep...
I think Calvin's got some damage now as well. Yes, he does on that front wing. That's a shame for him. He was looking good for points. He may be able to keep it out there because a lot of drivers around him do have damage.
Buyruck locking up pretty hard.
Probably pick up another penalty. But yeah, Darth Vader right on the back of Buyruck now. Wushel as well getting dragged along with this.
As
Legend though is on the back of Benjamin. DRS not activated this lap. Expect to move soon though. But Darth Vader, we could be 3 wide again down this main straight, Felix.
Yeah, Wushel using a lot of overtake. So much percentage already used up as he decided to put it down. So now it's a 2 wide situation between Darth Vader and Buyruck, but everyone slots in behind. But Wushel around the outside there of Buyruck, as Buyruck broke quite early. But of course you have to keep in mind he has damage. So it's difficult for him. As I think FEL Magical also made a move on Crompton as well. European.
Yes, he did. Crompton's got damage. Because of the instant the lap.
So he's looking to get points. And, well, I think you said Ashy Boy had damage? Well, he does now. So, Frosty
Calvin's got damage. Calvin's got damage.
Ashy Boy also has damage, so he could get points. For the first time for Alfa Romeo. As Magic Alonso tries to make a move on Buyruck, but Buyruck squeezes him quite bad. And FEL Magic Alonso has to cut the corner a little bit. Gives the position back.
Keep an eye on Legend, Felix. Legend almost pushing Benjamin through the third sector. Side by side. That was brave. He tried around the outside of the end of this second sector. It's not working, but surely Benjamin's going to have to concede this position very shortly. As Legend's going to look to the inside. Benjamin giving a big squeeze into the final corner. Legend has got a head-to-hand anger. Goes off. Benjamin does have damage, but Benjamin will pick up DRS, so he should theoretically make this move.
If he does have enough ERS, because Legend also... Well, he used so much ERS already to overtake everyone. And now Benjamin, with the DRS of course, that is to the wall there. But he does manage to get him before turn 1. And that's battling between...
Alonso's moved past Buyruck.
Keep an eye on Legend. You probably could get back on him. Of course, better tires as Benjamin squeezes him to the wall as Legend did to him as well, and that's a little bit of touching, maybe squeezed too much. Benjamin tries to hang it around.
Down the inside, can he get it stopped?
As he
he doesn't leave Ben any space.
Yeah, that's gonna
pushed him straight.
Wow, so much wing damage for Benjamin now.
That's gonna hand Darthy for a podium for the Renault team.
Benjamin doesn't have any luck in his Red Bull. That's unfortunate for him.
Crompton starting to struggle now. Frosty Calvin is closing in on him.
As
a reminder, this will be Alfa Romeo's first points of the season. Calvin does have a 3-second time penalty, however he is more than 3 seconds.
Crompton gets more damage.
Crompton in the wall. Yeah, in the wall again.
As he almost loses it. Frosty. Yeah, Frosty
Benjamin's off. Benjamin's out. He's gone in the wall.
Wow. That is no points for Red Bull.
No points for Red Bull. Safety car.
Safety car.
Whoa.
Okay.
That's late.
Alright. Bolin in the pits now. What is Legend gonna do? Is he gonna stay out? I don't think he should. And he makes a mistake.
Not sure about that.
Good. Does he get out? No, I don't think he gets out.
He'll be behind him.
So Ashy Boy gets a drive-through penalty.
Darth Vader also stays out there.
Bolin only lost 2 position. That's crazy. So Bolin's looking...
It depends how many laps we have.
The safety car could go out in 2 laps though. That could be the case with this amount of laps remaining. I mean, Frosty
gets a new front wing.
And so does Crompton. So he could...
Probably
Frosty...
a smart move.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't have any other choice, to be honest, but it would have been a better option for him if the safety car didn't go out, of course.
Yeah, because he's got this penalty, it might bump him down out the points, which is a shame. So do keep an eye on penalties.
As Felix's race is saved now.
I'd like to point out, Nick Pancras, 7 stops.
What?
7 stops.
That's... Yuri 6 stops. I've seen someone do 7 stops in 30 laps, so... Well, 22? That's stopping every 3 laps.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look at what tires he went on every time. Okay, so wets to inters to mediums to hards to soft, I think.
Yeah.
Nick Pancras could get points again.
Yeah, Benjamin isn't happy with Legend.
To be expected. It's okay. As okay. Mike Hennings left the session. Well, he... Oh, did he DNF just? Or...
No, he DNF'd before.
Okay. It's alright. As they've now caught up to the back of the safety car. Some people with their 5-second time penalties, of course, they can be removed if they report it. Oh, Bouillard has a normal 3 seconds. Normally he doesn't get penalties, but apparently now he does.
As does Frosty Calvin.
Oh, he got... Oh, maybe he was pushed wide or something, because on lap 21 he got 2 warnings. It could be driving related.
Certainly investigate. Ashley boy did get a drive-through penalty for stealing the safety car, so he's going to have to serve that.
Well, he can't serve it during the safety car time period.
Of course, yeah. So that's going to promote Nick Pancras into an effective P10. But remember to watch this restart. So, Legend and Darth FIFA both on older mediums, Bolin on fresh softs. So, we'll have to see how this plays out. I mean, fair enough to Bolin, because he probably would have been overtaken by Legend anyway as a result of this safety car. He'll probably get Darth FIFA quite easily.
The gap wasn't the gap about... Oh no, it wasn't 10 seconds, I believe. It was about 6 seconds.
The gap was 8 seconds.
Very good. Yeah. Safety car's in, so... Legend does go pretty slow. Seventh gear, interesting.
So, when's Legend gonna go? Gonna back everyone up? Doesn't look as if he is.
Just warming his tires.
Keen on getting a move on. Yeah.
And there he goes.
Yep. Yeah, he's gone. And Calvin's got a 5-second time penalty. That can get removed. I hope for his sake he doesn't have damage.
Don't overtake before the line. Oh, he nails that perfectly. Bolin goes down inside of Darth FIFA.
Yeah, really nice that.
Magical Alonso.
On Magical Alonso. Oh. Yeah. They're still side by side. Bo in the mirrors as well, looking for a move. As Bolin, importantly, has got past Darth FIFA. He's now got 2 laps to put the pressure on Legend and make a move.
Frosty Calvin looking out to go around the outside of X Felix 1.
That's brave.
Not too much
really
space.
Brave. Oh, Nick Pancras is round. Oh, a chance for Williams. He's done a prime George Russell. A chance for points, and he's absolutely
He
blown
retired on track, so that's...
He didn't retire. He didn't retire.
Oh, okay. Or maybe he was in AI. Well,
We left the session now.
as Buywork goes down the inside of Wushel there. Wushel broke quite early.
Yeah, Boyer on the
And now-
fresh tires, so that's going to make a difference.
Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. As Crumpton decides to go down the inside of Wushel for some reason at the castle section. What?
Oh.
Okay. Okay, he's ghosted for some people, I think. I hope. Oh no.
Oh no, Calvin's in the wall.
Oh no.
So that's a chance of points gone for the Alfa Romeo team. Again, missing out on points. But back to the front, Berlin right behind Legend. This is going to be a move for the lead here, Felix.
There we go. ERS both on, I think, yeah. No DRS just yet, but of
I
course.
don't think it matters too much. Berlin's got the superior grip.
Of course. There he goes around
He
the
sets fast
outside.
lap. He's going to try it around the outside. They touch wheel to wheel. This is flashbacks to Red Bull back in 2018, but this time Berlin makes a move. It's a clean move with the superior grip and the fresher tyres. Legend does not have it in him to respond, and it looks like this is Berlin's win to lose right now. Further
Legend-
back, it's a Renault 3 and 4, I should say, as Berlin just covers off that inside line, and he should drive away with this. Renault 3-4, Darth Beaver ahead of Magic Alonso. They're looking at a good points haul if they can hold off TRT Boyrod on them fresh, soft tyres. So it's not actually out of the question that will get breeze past Magic Alonso. Magic Alonso doing a great job for his teammate though, really slowing up Boyrod and letting Darth Beaver get away, because Darth Beaver is on very old medium tyres. Boyrod looking down the inside. This is going to be a late move. He gets it done though. He does get it done. The Ferrari up into full position now. He's got 1.5 laps to try and get after Darth Beaver. Personally, I think that gap's a little bit too much to mount, but he's taken a lot of time out of him already through this middle sector.
Yeah, I did see Buywork touch with, as top your team makes quite a big mistake. That's could mean Frosty gets... No, Frosty has so much front wing damage, I don't think he will. But he is really close. Anyway, so Yuri's pretty close to Crumpton, as Crumpton makes a little mistake on the apex of the...
Yeah, I was just on board
Final
with Yuri. He's right up behind Crumpton, so Crumpton's struggling. I think he's losing a bit of front wing downforce, and he is. And Crumpton, I think you could argue that's 2 moves on a straight.
Yeah, that's 2 moves. Yeah, he goes down the
He's
inside,
going to
of
switch
course.
to the inside. That's brave.
Goodbye.
What a move from Crumpton down the inside, but he outbreaks himself completely. And he's got nothing to show from it. And now he's going to be under pressure from Wushel.
Wushel has damage as well, I think.
Yeah, he does. He does.
But yeah, Crumpton does have damage as well, so... Top P team is also pretty close behind, but... I don't know, maybe he can get Wushel here, as he's quite close, going into this chicane.
Yeah, I think top B team's got no damage. He does have a healthy front wing, so that's beneficial for him. Fresher tyres as well, softer tyres as well. So everything's going in the favour of the Haas's. Currently 8th and 10th, looking to pick up points.
No, don't go around the
He's not looking around the
outside.
outside.
Second time that Wushel
Switch
hit
back.
the... See, Wushel defends the inside of the castle section again and gets damage once more. So,
Yeah,
Ashy
top
Boy,
team's got
10
damage as well.
seconds.
Yeah, I think he just crashed into the wall.
Okay. Don't go for it. Yeah, just wait on the final straight. It's simple. And there goes your P9. Well, he could still get him on penalties, I believe. Oh, I think that was his 5 seconds, right? As I completely missed it, but
So did I.
Bowling won the race.
Bowling
Legend
wins.
as a Legend P2, Dark FIFA P3, Felix P4, Boyer just behind
2000s,
P6.
wow.
Yeah. Afiel Magic Alonso, what happened to him? I thought he was further at the back, at the front,
May have been
right?
affected by penalties. But yeah, we completely missed that final lap. Congratulations to VRT Bolin for winning the race.
So that was race.
It was a really entertaining race actually. There was always something going on.
I don't know what to say. Felix, the driver, he got damaged somewhere and then drove back to P4. What the heck?
Yeah, good job from Felix.
Yeah. Wow. As I'll do the race rundown when it loads. Okay, there we go. Bolin P1 in front of Legend, followed by Dart FIFA. X Felix 1 in the AlphaTauri. Then Boyeward after a drive-through and all that stuff he went through in P5. Yuri from driving at the back most of the time to P6. Crumpton, FAL Magic Alonso, top your team. Wushel, Calvin, Nick Pancras, Ashy Boy, and then the DNFs RS followed. Benjamin, Mike Henning, Sam D, Tim Wentink, Atix, Jackson, and then TTV iQuicks in the Mercedes.
It's a shame for Alfa Romeo to miss out on points again.
Yeah, they were closer this time though, so only 5 seconds.
I mean, closer with Calvin, but Atik's still doing a disappointing job. So I'm not sure if the team principal will look into that with the transfer window coming up in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
iQuicks as well, poor though. Really, really poor from iQuicks today.
Third time in a row, indeed. Yeah.
Maybe the Mercedes team will look at a replacement for him.
Could be, but their team principal has said that they're looking to retain their driver lineup for season 2. But I'm not sure.
Fair enough. As I said earlier, they do the job. They're ridiculously well clear of racing points, so I wouldn't worry.
Yeah, true.
Obviously, not trying to complicate anything.
So anyway, that was the race for this round. So I'd like to see you all back in, I believe it's 3 or 2 weeks, as we have a 2-week break until next race, and that would be Canada, I think.
Your league, not mine.
Yeah, it's like the normal F1 calendar, but I thought it was Canada, France, and then Austria. So anyway, that was today's qualifying and race, and yeah, good.